Hey, what's up everybody? William here with AR15.com. So I want to do a 224 Valkyrie test. I know this is a new round that's going to get a lot more publicity here after SHOT Show. You guys are probably seeing a lot of coverage on it right about now. This is CMMG's new rifle. So we did a teaser video on this one with a charging handle before. 24-inch barrel, which is pretty long for an AR-15, but the 224 Valkyrie is more designed as a very long-range target or a little bit of a longer-range hunting round. So being that it's not as much of a tactical type of round, it's more suited to longer barrels, which isn't really a big deal if you're going to be shooting off of a table most of the time anyway. So we got the Black X1000 scope on here. I went with a little bit of a bigger scope since it's a pretty big gun. But just a few facts about CMMG's new AR-15 here. We got the ambidextrous charging handle. This has the upgraded Cerakoted paint job on it. Cool color that's not black. It's a little bit different, but it's not real flashy and ugly looking. Magpul PRS Gen 3 stock. We got a Magpul pistol grip on it, Geisley trigger, and of course the 24-inch barrel with their single chamber muzzle brake on the end of it. It is a pretty nice package. So CMMG a lot of times does different levels of guns. They'll do like a basic one and then an upgraded one and then like maybe a super duper one. This is kind of the super duper one, and that's it for 224 Valkyrie. It's got all the bells and whistles that CMMG really offers. Today we're going to go ahead and chronograph all 4 of these rounds. We've got 2 different 90 grain rounds from Federal. This is a Fusion soft point, and then this is the Sierra Match King. So these are both 90 grain, both 2,700 feet per second according to the box. And then we have a 60 grain Nosler ballistic tip, so this is more for hunting varmint. And then we've got a 75 grain total metal jacket. This is their affordable sort of plinking round or whatever. So the 60 grains are 3,300 feet per second on the box, and the 75 grain TMJs are 3,000 feet per second. All very impressive numbers for the weights if you're comparing it to like a 223 5.56 type of load. I mean, 75 grain at 3,000 feet per second is pretty serious. So we got the magneto speed here. We're going to do a little bit of chronograph testing. We're going to run 5 of each of all 4 of these loads across the chronograph. And then we're going to go ahead and send the 60 grain Nosler ballistic tip into the gel here and see how it does. So 60 grains at 3,300 feet per second, we should see some early and catastrophic disruption in the gel. Here's all 4 of them kind of laying next to each other just so you guys can get a little bit of a better look. You can see the different lengths from the 90 grain to the 60 and the 75. And then I went ahead and put a 5.56 round there just for comparison so you guys can see the bullets are much longer in the 224 Valkyrie. And even though the shoulder is set back further, that bigger diameter of the case, that 6.8 SPC diameter of the case is how you're getting the volume. All right, so we're going to send that 60 grain Nosler ballistic tip into the gel block. All right, so exactly what you would want to see from a varmint round. Almost no neck on it, absolutely destructive fragmentation. I mean, that is an absolutely huge, it's not just a huge permanent wound channel for clear gel, which I know I've told you guys before that clear gel doesn't really exaggerate the permanent wound channel, kind of like the organic gel does, but to be fragmented in that many different pieces in that many different directions, I hope this is showing up on camera as good as it is in person. That is absolutely tremendous. That's a heck of a varmint round. And there's even a piece of it that went all the way down to about 15 inches. I did shoot a couple of groups with the gold medal Sierra Match Kings, and actually this was the first shot, which I thought was a little bit weird because I had sighted it in a little bit better than that. And then these were the next 3. And I was thinking, okay, well, I got a pretty decent group going here, except for this one flyer. And then that was the last one. And I'm not sure if it was just that the barrel had gotten pretty hot at that point. I don't really think that I pulled it, but it, you know, it did end up over there. And then the next group that I shot was after the barrel was pretty hot. I think I shot 1 or 2 more in between this, and it was pretty warm. And then that's pretty much what it did. So it wasn't like this real tight grouping with one flyer. They were just kind of spread out a little bit, you know, left and right. This is about 1.5 MOA. The 224 Valkyrie has definitely impressed me from a chronograph perspective. You know, a lot of times you'll see these boxes and they'll use like an unrealistically long barrel. And don't get me wrong, 24-inch for an AR-15 is a really long barrel, but this is a 1,300 yard target gun or a long range hunting gun. It's not really meant for kicking doors in 10.5-inch barrels, 7.5-inch barrels, stuff like that. And even with that said, it did better than what it said on the box for a 24. You know, we use a 24, they use a 24. We did 30 to 50 to 80 feet per second faster than everything they did. And it's not a particularly hot day out here. They delivered on the velocity for sure. And whenever you see a heavy bullet going real fast like that, that's probably one of the first things that people are going to want to know. Does it really live up to those numbers, or is that just some bogus stuff they did, you know, in the lab or whatever? The gel test, awesome as well. The varmint round fragmented really early. It blew up completely, still penetrated in deep enough. That's going to absolutely devastate any kind of prairie dog or coyote or anything like that. I thought that the 224 would recoil an appreciable amount more than the 5.56. I thought I'd be able to feel it. With this big long barrel and that break on it, you really can't tell. It feels just like you're shooting 55 grains out of any other AR-15, you know, carbine. So that's pretty cool. No doubt the rifle length gas system probably helps with that a little bit too. So if you guys have any other questions about the CMMG rifle, any of the gear that we use today, any 4 of the loads or the velocities or any of that kind of stuff, just go ahead and drop a comment. I just want to say thanks for joining us here on AR15.com. This is William signing off.